Okay, hello YouTubers. We are continuing with the top 10 list of grudges. We have done number 10, the teacher red tape. We have touched on number 9, which was regarding women as friends. I know I titled that one lesbians and bisexuals, but um, I will explain that in a video vlog a little bit more about why I titled it that. Anyway, we'll go on. Number 8 spot. This one is just about sex in general. So I'm going to kind of put on my Dr. Ruth thinking cap and explain why I have some residual grudge in regards to sexual conversation or sexual culture and climate. Um, Sex. Well, I was a teenager in the 80s. I graduated high school in 1989. And, the music of the 80s was just as sexually loaded as the music of the 60s or 70s. There wasn't, the sound might have been different, but there were plenty of innuendos and plenty of hot dancers shaking their tushies, you know, for the cha-ching. And, I was while my mom was listening to the golden 50s, there were people calling her a dinosaur for not being hip with the 60s, 70s, or 80s music. And I was a teenager, and it was all influencing me. And, to be with it, hip and cool, I had to, kind of figure out what was going on and why sex was such a big seller. Well, I figured it out. Why is sex such a big seller? Whether it's in music or whether it's porno or whether it's some hot, steamy scene in a romance movie or whether it's 50 Shades of Grey, where it gets a little kinky. Sex has always been a big seller because, as the cliche goes, prostitution is the oldest profession. That hasn't changed much. The only thing that I think has changed is the pettiness and hypocrisy levels in regards to sex. Not in all countries, but in America, it's pretty bad. The hypocrisy levels in America are pretty bad. Not as bad as all countries, though. See, you can compare America to France and you'll say, we are pathetically hypocritical. Or you can compare America to, say, some Muslim country and you'll be like, wow, we are totally liberal. So it does depend on who you're comparing America to. But as an American, I still think we're pretty hypocritical. Because we love to sell sex and yet we hate to talk about it, or we hate it when it pops up in, some kind of socially normal or acceptable situation where it's really not appropriate. Really? What's not appropriate? People are having a hang up about a mother breastfeeding her child. People are having a hang up about somebody who can't find a bathroom and decides to, you know, go behind a bush instead of pissing their pants. People are having a problem on Facebook if you post a naked or nude photograph. Really? Why? Are these people unaware about pornography? Are these people unaware that body parts exist? Are these people unaware that sex is sold, even if you don't consider yourself a prostitute or you're not in some whorehouse? So why all the hypocrisy? I'm going to go around saying gay people want to get married. They've been saying this for the past 20 years now, right? I thought it was kind of funny. I said, I'm not a big fan of marriage. And when the gay people were jumping up on that saying, well, we deserve those rights too. We should get married. I was like, look, as your friend, whether you consider me straight or bisexual, I'm telling you, you don't want to get married. Gay means happy. Why would you want to be unhappy? Anyway, My grudge about sex is this. They didn't like hypocrisy, but they hated promiscuity. Hmm. Because it takes away some sort of obsessive control that they have in enslaving people. And that's what really emancipation is all about. Emancipation isn't about whether you're married or single. Emancipation isn't really about whether you feel some sort of slavery or not. Emancipation really has to do with sex. I believe that it does. It really does. If someone gets to tell you what you do with your body, that is a form of slavery. It's your body, yours, and no one should tell you what to do with it. That's my opinion. Uh, but anyway, I just have a little grudge against sex because it's not a major grudge. It's not a major grudge. I love sex, and I'm not afraid to talk about it. However, people get uncomfortable or nervous about it because they think that if you talk about sex, that's like inviting, groping and rape. No, no means no. And touchy-feely is a very personal thing that is to be mutually consented upon adult people. And I don't even want to talk about kids because I don't have kids and that's none of my business. I'm just talking about adults who consent. That's touchy-feely stuff. But I'm talking about conversation or a communication like a naked photo. If you take issue with a naked photo or a conversation about sex, you have issues. And I have a grudge against that.